Another week, another opportunity to flush it and move forward here on the Sooner or Later Sports Show, a Hog Media production presented by Sleeper. That's Coop. I'm Jay. Thanks for pulling up here on the YouTube channel and listening wherever podcasts are downloaded and listen to. While you're here, please wipe your feet, like, subscribe, rate, review, give us 5 stars. You don't think we deserve it? Go ahead and give us 5 anyway and gift it. So on today's episode of the Sooner or Later Sports Show, me and Coop got a lot of stuff we're going to jump right into, right? Like what the Sooners need to do first or going forward, or what the hell they need to do in general. We're going to talk about a commitment from Jay Coop that we completely glossed over because of this weekend. And we'll wrap things up looking at some SEC games and just talk a little ball. You know, the usual stuff that we always do here on this Wednesday. This bad boy is pre-recorded. As you know, I am traveling for work, but we appreciate y'all joining us. Coop, how you doing, my man?
It's happy Wednesday. Fall break's kicking it off, so hopefully you guys are surviving that if you are parents out there. And man, fall break's just not as cool as it used to be, and it was like 90 yesterday too, so it's not very fall still.
Yeah, we don't have much fall weather going on in that direction. I think here in Las Vegas it is 53 with a high of 67. It is fall weather here, ladies and gentlemen. But lucky for me, I won't go outside for another 2 days. Then I'll be outside for a couple days. Then I won't go back outside. Well, actually, I'll go outside every day after that. Because, yeah, this conference I'm at is the second conference I'm at is really weird, but I digress. That is.
Are you a walker up and down the strip, or do you
yes.
Mess with? Okay, I like the walk
up and down the strip. Yeah, it gives me something to do, right?
I like the walk. Fun. Let's open it up with fun Vegas story before we kick this off. My very first Vegas experience as a 21-year-old. We were in the mall in Caesars, right? And so we're kind of walking back and forth. My wife had an issue with her phone, so she went to the Apple store, and so she's there, and she's like, "Hey, go get a drink or whatever." So I go out to one of those little mini kiosks in the middle of the mall, and I'm like, I always, I embarrass my kids all the time. So if somebody says, "Hey, what can I help you out with?" and I'm at like a Smoothie King, I'm like, "How about a hamburger?" Trying to be funny. And so the guy says, "What can I get you to drink?" And I said, the biggest gin and tonic that you got. And he was like, "Cool." So I turned around, I'm looking around, looking at stuff, and they turned around, it's like, "All right, here you go, sir." And it was like $50-something. And it was like a 32-ounce gin. I mean, like this, like this Starbucks right
wow.
here. And so, I wasn't taken back because I was like, your boy can handle that. But the only worry I had was like walking back up to Nicole and being like, "Hey," and she's like, "What the?" So I was like, "Do you want to help me drink this?" She's like, "I don't drink a gin and tonic." I was like, "I'll finish it." So one funny story.
That is hilarious. No, I haven't run into any of those like that for me. I've had a couple of, I've only tried the long margarita deals once, the big frozen ones that everybody always gets. I did that one time and I was like, "Yeah, this is way too much sugar." Yeah, it's like ginormous, dog. And I'm
you
like,
have diabetes,
nah, Yeah, right. It's literally liquid diabetes. I'm like, I can't do it. Plus, I knew the hangover was going to be absurd. So I passed on that. So I usually just drink for free when I'm gambling because I'll hit the blackjack table, play a little craps, go to the sports book. They usually always give you the free stuff. So, and it's usually pretty good, too. They'll hook you up, especially if they think you're going to – I'll put $100 down, and then I'll pick – after the girl's walking over, and I'll get a big drink, and then I pick my $100 up, put it right back in my pocket, and just keep doing that over and over.
It's the insinuated bet. The insinuated bet.
They know.
Like, sir,
they know what we do.
Does that is that a Bible track, or is that a real $100 bill that you keep on throwing down?
Oh no, it's definitely a real $100 bill. Exactly right.
That's
so,
awesome.
Speaking of gambling, man, the spread has been moving in this game between Oklahoma and South Carolina, and it appears that the Sooners are more and more of a favorite than I have anticipated, and that even though some of our fans have quit on this team, Las Vegas has not. But at the same time, we're playing against South Carolina, who appears to not be the team that we thought they were. Today, as of this morning, Oklahoma's now moved to a 5.5-point favorite, Coop. So we'll talk O and D combos against South Carolina. We'll talk about what we need to do. So let's start off with this, though. Now that we have refreshed ourselves, Coop, and we've slept on it a few times. We've done some rewatches. How you feeling about the Sooners and their opportunity to bounce back now?
I mean, OU's record after a loss to Texas has typically been pretty good. You take away, obviously, like the 6 and 7 season where, just
Everybody was
it was
hurt.
all kinds of turmoil, and you just didn't have anybody. But even then, that we came out and beat Kansas that next week, and that was a pretty decent Kansas team at that point. And so,
It's true.
Here's my feel is. John Mateer obviously didn't look like himself. When you have one side of the ball that is, just basically irrelevant, it makes every other oops, extremely magnified. And
Yeah.
it's shame on us, I guess, in everybody picking Oklahoma in that spot and not ever taking into account that John sitting on the shelf for 3 weeks wasn't going to have some application. Somebody asked me, well, should we have put in Hawkins? I think that after the first half, you felt, hey, all right, I mean, we should have probably been up 9-3 or something better. And we can get into that if you wanted to, but you get one possession in the third quarter, and after your possession in the fourth quarter, it's like, well, I mean, do you put Hawkins in at that point? Because you kind of had to take the macro look to see what we saw out of Mateer. And so, I don't know, Jay. It just kind of seems like another. Again, Texas fans, you did get a great job. Sark made halftime adjustments. You won. OU had no business winning that game. And I think that loss probably encouraged a lot of action in the Oklahoma coaching staff. Now, whether or not they take it, that's still yet to be seen. But if you say that you somehow they call the block in the back on the punt, you go win that game. I think it masks some of the inefficiencies on this team, and maybe losing this game is going to be for the best.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat because I was going back when I rewatched. I was like, all right, because I had talked about this, after the loss and was feeling all woeful about it and was like, all right, we should have probably played Hawkins second half, blah, blah, blah. But you're spot on because that was the one thing I look back at. I'm like, but we only had one possession in the third quarter. Like, yeah. Texas literally owned the entire quarter. And when you said that number, like 13 and some change that they had the ball, I'm like, geez, Louise. Like, what? I was like, that's not that it was possible. And they just did a really good job of just grinding it. Like, it was a slow, methodical, like it was like kill you with 1,000 like needles,
paper cuts,
little pins, paper cuts, all of that. Just a whole bunch of them, right? And you just slowly bled out in that quarter. And then the fourth quarter became a quarter of urgency, a quarter of stress, a quarter of all of that. Like, they were worn. And when I went back and looked at it, I'm like, dang, that's a very good point. It's hard to assess if who should have played the rest of the games, put it that way. And so everybody's been evaluating, like, the throws that Mateer's made, like the interception that Mateer threw to end the second quarter. When I watched Gabe and Teddy do their in the weeds, I was rewatching it, and now it makes more sense to me that it's 100% on John, that it was a race. You either throw it to the end zone and I run underneath it, or if you're taking too long, you throw it underneath and I come back for it because I'm wide open on the comeback, and I run it and I outrun them to the corner of the end zone, like to the pylon. Like, because go watch the one that they actually posted on the socials. That's where I was like, oh, I see it, because you've got the safety chasing running back. They're supposed to come up to stop a run, But when they're up there chasing, running back, they're basically racing Deion Burks. And Deion Burks had him beat. If you throw it early enough, Burks got him beat for a touchdown, especially if you put touch on it. But because he didn't, he waited. If he would have threw it under that same direction, but under by like 5 yards, Burks probably could have swung around and came right down to it, caught it. The safety's going to run up, try to run up at least. He could have just raced him to the pylon and probably beat him for the touchdown. Because I think that Burks would have been faster at that angle. But there were so many of those. And I know none of y'all like hearing us harp on just how bad things were, but I think the contextualizing this is John knows he was bad, and that's what's most important. And the line gave him time. He just made the bad decisions. We harp on how bad the offensive line play is. It is bad on the run. It isn't as bad as pass, but on some of the run plays, Gabe and Teddy was pointing out some stuff too. Like I'm waiting for the all-22 to get to me so I can go dive into it more. But there were moments where the block was held just long enough to where if you hit the hole, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that more and more. But at the same time, like I think that sticking to one back more and more will be better. We're not going to be able to, though. That's the other thing you got to remember. In college football, you're not going to be able to have just one back run every single down. You're going to be switching it up. Brent Venables actually addressed that on the presser yesterday. I want to talk about that in the running back room just a second. Let's pay a bill first. Shout out to our partners here at Sleeper. If you're not using them for daily fantasy football, you are definitely missing out. They've got some of the best odds out there. They got the best options in daily fantasy sports. And today, this month, they are giving you $20 just for signing up by using our code UNFAIR. And they'll match your first deposit up to $100. So I'm going to make a couple of picks real quick. I've been looking at, let's see, as my phone reconnects itself. Let's look at the NFL on Thursday night. Well, you got baseball here. Ooh, Kirby at half and out. That's obviously a free play. We're going to take that. DK Metcalf, I don't think he scores Thursday night. Jaylen Warren probably gets under. We're not going to use that one because that's another promo. Give me Aaron Rodgers throwing. Nope, that's another promo. Give me the less on him. Give me some Jamar Chase on the less as well. But honestly, I think I'll take Aaron Rodgers on the more, and I'm going to swap that promo out because I think that's a better pick. But you pick two or more players. You pick more or less on their stats. And y'all didn't even get to see any of that. So you get to pick two or more players, pick more or less on their stats. And guess what? Boom, you're in the game. So check out Sleeper. Use our promo code UNFAIR, and you'll get 100% match on your first deposit up to $100. You'll also get $20 just for signing up. Current terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. And so, Coop, I want to talk about this running back room and all of that. Thank y'all for pulling up. Hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, rate, review, give us 5 stars. Both BV and Ben Arbuckle addressed the running back room on the presser yesterday. One of the things that Ben says, which is really it's kind of coincidental that he uses, that everyone's using the BV terminology of need to strain more. Like, he's basically telling them, hey, dog, I need to toughen up. Go out there and push people around. You've done it before. You can still do it. You need to get better at it. Problem, though, is, Coop, we're down, 4 offensive tackles right now? 5, technically. So I know Isaiah Dent should be back practicing soon, or he should be back now. He was dealing with a little knee situation. You got Jake and Jay Coop. So Taylor and Sexton are both out still. I don't know how long. I don't know how long two are down. Howland he's moving back towards, I think, probable or doubtful now, I think.
We'll probably see tonight. So we won't be able to
we'll
do
see
that,
tonight.
obviously, doing the recording.
Yeah. We'll see that later on tonight, and I'll try to drop something on that late in the evening on the injury report, the first one, so we'll know who's around. And then you had Derek Simmons get hurt his ankle during the game, and hopefully he's good. Hopefully he comes back because he's been solid on the pass, not that great on the run, but he's been solid overall. Yeah, we need our tackles to stop falling apart. I think that would help, right?
Yeah. I mean, you go into this year with the hopes that a mixture of guys who had, playing time in Jake Sexton, and let's just be honest, Jake Sexton has had moments, you think of the Ole Miss game last year where he was terrific and we were in control of that game.
Cooking.
Till he gets hurt. And then that's when you bring in Logan Howland, tip into play. The rest is history. Jake Taylor still has yet to ever be able to stay out there on the field. So yeah. I think all in all, when it's all said and done, you just have all these tackles that, Michael Fasusi should be rotating in and getting coachability. That would 100% need to have happened at this point. But he's had to play. And so, he spoke about it yesterday about some of the eye-opening moments, going against, Colin Simmons, kind of getting the walkthrough on what it's like to play in the SEC against a big-time, defensive lineman. So, you don't have a lot of depth. I think right now you're probably slating Baklenko and Fasusi as your bookends. Hopefully Howland, is healthy enough to contribute if called upon. But outside of that, you really don't have much else. And it's not like you can throw a tight end over there to help out with an injured tackle.
No, you can't. We're not built like that right now. We don't have tight ends that can do that. And I think that's pretty, that's brutal right now. We don't even talk about tight end room. I don't even want to talk about them. I don't want to pile on top of them because we've all done that nonstop. It is what it is at this point. But I give it to Baklenko. He hasn't been a bad blocker. He's been okay. He hasn't been bad. We need him to continue to grow on the pass blocking and keep that up. Fasusi's been solid. Of course, Weiwu's your best pass blocker. Nobody likes hearing that, but Weiwu is. He's just not a good run blocker right now. He hasn't shown any type of meanness this season like he did to me last year. I think we saw more meanness out of him last year than we did this year. And he just has not been that good of a run blocker for some reason. But we just got to get better at pushing. A lot of movement on the line, which I hate to see. We've had 3 people play left tackle in Fasusi, Howland, and Baklenko. You've had 3 people play guard. Your centers have been really 2 guys. You have only 2 right guards in Foje and Weiwu, and Foje's only come in when they gave Weiwu a break, right? Weiwu's been your most consistent dude. I hate y'all like hearing that, but he has. And so from there, though, I think we just need to get better at. We got to get better at. Gotta get better at being mean. I guess that's just the simplest way to say it. Be mean. Get up, push them. But since that's not working, Coop, I think the simplest solution on side of that is just go spread them out. Spread them out.
It's a catch-22 right now, Jay, because this could be the week to do it. South Carolina's defense. This is one of the main reasons. Listen, that they may be. One of the most disappointing teams in the SEC this year to this point. Their defense, they're 13th out of 16 in yards per game in the SEC, 8 out of 16 in passing yards per game, 11 out of 16 in rush yards per game, and then 8 out of 16 in points per game. So, and they're going to hold the game close to an extent.
Yes.
But with 11 out of 16, that's towards the bottom of the conference. So if that's what the stats we're looking at here is, you just need to keep you need to find 1 or 2 things when it comes time to rushing the ball that you're good at. Just something that you can, resemble success. Because we keep on saying let's go from completely unsuccessful to successful. No. There's 2 other sections in between that. There is bad, which is what this team has been doing, and it's not all on the offensive line. Sometimes it is just poor vision by the backs. Then there's like then there's like resembles success, and then there's like we're kind of good or approaching success. And I think that we need to see it, and it's not out of effort because I'll be the first one to say Torrey Blaylock is going to give you effort on effort on effort. We haven't seen Javante Barnes in a couple weeks. As long as he doesn't
Barnes
run
got hurt. I think Barnes was supposed to play in the Texas game, but he hurt himself in the warm-up. Pulled his hammy.
Yeah. So you got a lot of running backs which are right on the edge of coming together. And let's throw this out, Jay. If this is a game, if you can go out and you can average 3.5 yards a carry and just make them have to continue to think about the run. And I'm not talking about Mateer, because by God, if the game plan against Texas was, hey, put the ball in Mateer's hands 80 times between rushes and throws, or 50 or whatever it was, that's a lot to ask a dude who sat on the shelf for 3 weeks.
I agree. It's way too much to ask a guy that's literally been on the shelf chilling for as long as he has. Yeah. But I think that now he's going to put the team on his shoulders. He's going to put the team on his back. And they talked about that in the presser of how he cares that much. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to put the team on his back. He's going to carry them. And his entire goal is going to be to push for strain, as BV says. And he's going to try to win more of these games. And to be honest, he's kind of probably going to have to, based upon just how the run game has gone. Just not getting enough success. Like, we're going to probably get 50-something yards rushing out of Torrey Blaylock easily. He'll get you that. And that's perfect for a young back to get you. I need him to find a way to break out and get you more. And I think that at some point he may, in one of these games, he may feel the vision and may see the hole and just say, screw it, I'm going to run through there and see if I can get more. And he may do that. He may start breaking tackles. That's the other thing we don't do, is break tackles right now.
Or make people miss.
Exactly. Like John does. John breaks tackles. He makes people miss. He does all of that. We need everybody else to contribute. And I think I mentioned it in my video from yesterday that BV and Ben both said this in the presser, that like they got more respect for John because of how he shouldered things, and they're reminding him that you have a team and let's work together. And that's what he's doing. He's pushing his teammates on top of himself to, we got to do better. Let's play better. Let's execute like we're supposed to, blah, blah, blah. So in that case, I think that John Mateer is going to provide everybody with some exceptional games. This could be his Tim Tebow moment, right? Him sitting there at that Red River, him standing there watching Texas get the gold hat and say, I didn't get my gold hat. I wanted my gold hat before I left. And then sitting in the presser saying, I got to be better and I'm going to be better going forward, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be a Tebow moment. This could change the entire season of him just going out there, making good decisions, getting dominant. But having 6 touchdowns, 6 picks, come on, baby. We need you to have 12 touchdowns, 6 picks. I expected the interceptions. Period.
Yeah,
I told y'all that.
You called it earlier in the season.
He is a gunslinger, and he's going to make mistakes. He will miss a read and throw it bad. But I need him to go out there and score more touchdowns now and offset that better. He can go on a run where he gets like 6 straight touchdowns before he throws another pick. I can totally see it. Do it now is my key thing. So, but I expect John to get better. Let's dive into South Carolina and what we kind of expect on both sides of the ball real quick. We're going to pay this bill real quick again and talk to our people at Sleeper. And I'm also going to go ahead and make a pick so y'all can watch it. Let's look at some of the college football games. I'm looking at, actually, one of them I do want to take is not Gunner, not Arch, but it's definitely this John Mateer one they have on here. They have a John Mateer pick that is him doing, see, that's Satania right there at Moore at 53.5 yards. I think Satania can do that. I think we can hold LaNorris Sellers to under. I don't think we can hold him to under 30 yards. I think he'll get at least 30 yards just because, that's the luck of the Irish there, Coop. We always have that. And there's John Mateer, which, Can't combine John Mateer with Isaiah Satania. So we're going to keep LaNorris Sellers. We'll take Satania off. But I want Mateer more at 235 yards. Why? Because I think that John Mateer is now mentally in the space where he's going to put up some numbers. But this is how easy this game is. You pick two or more players, pick more or less on their stats, and boom, you can get up to 1,000 times your dollars. And if you are new to it, Sleeper's going to give you $20 just for signing up. Use our code UNFAIR, get 100% match on your first deposit up to $100, and they'll give you $20 just for playing. So check them out. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. So Coop, thank y'all all for pulling up. Hit that like button if you're new to the channel. Subscribe. Make sure you follow us both on the socials at Unfair Sports. Follow Coop at Eric_Cooper82. So let's talk about this game that's coming up, because the intriguing thing about this game is, though, Coop, is when I talked to my guy Marler over there at Locked On South Carolina recently, of course they're not very happy with how things have progressed for them, especially on the defensive line and stuff, but
yeah,
they still have hope. And I'm telling y'all this because when they faced us last year, they were 3-3. Then they went on a 6-game run, finished the season 9-3. So in their mind is they hope that this is that lightning strikes twice for them, and it's caught in that bottle, that they can go out there and redo what they did last time they played us. That's where, of course, my worry comes in, Coop. So our defense versus Sellers, crazy stat that was posted. LaNorris Sellers last game ran for 19 yards? I think that's what it was. Let me pull it up real quick. Yeah, South Carolina, he ran for, LSU game. Not LSU. I need LaNorris Sellers. Let me his running stats. Offense in general. I think he ran for 19 yards in that game, Coop.
He's had a couple games where he did not. He wasn't just all over the field.
He was 72 yards after contact, after the sacks and stuff, in which they got sacked a lot in that game. But he ran for 19 yards. But you know how many yards he ran for, physically ran in that game? It's over 800. Oh, I'm dead serious. So when Chris,
I believe you.
When Chris said that, I'm like, because the stat was posted online, and I'm like, you're lying. I'm like, that's funny, because he's like, I didn't believe it either until I start looking it up, and I'm like, no, this is actually true. It's a ridiculous statistic. After the sacks and everything, he literally ran for 800 and something yards on the field, and he only got 19 in positive yards because of how crazy the pressure was on him. They were in his grill.
It's
bananas.
LSU game, he netted 19 yards on 22 carries. So obviously you know that sacks factor into that. Mm-hmm. The Missouri game, he had, let's see here, 10 carries for negative 28 yards.
Mm-hmm.
The Vandy game.
Here it is.
3 carries for negative
3. Cole Kubelik is one put it out there. At LaNorris Sellers versus LSU finished with 19 yards rushing on 22 attempts. His total distance traveled during the game was 894. They had that dude in hell. He was everywhere, Coop. And I think that that's what we need to do in this game. He only had 124 yards passing in this game. And Razul Faison he was okay in it. He had 68 yards carry on 13 attempts. Matt Fuller picked up, he had a 72-yard run. So his 7 carries for 83 yards was one big touchdown run. But that's kind of what we kind of expect to happen, right? That's what they're going to do. They're going to try to run on this defense because they know they'll break one. We will give up one big run every game. Somebody's going to be out of position, and that has been our kryptonite, is being prepared for that. We can't allow that. Him throwing for 124 yards, the good thing is that he was not that good last year against us passing. Granted, he didn't have to, But even talked to my boy, he said, yeah, that sounds all in good to say, oh, well, they pulled back. But they still looked bad in that game offensively, even though the defense won the game for them. I mean, 2, pick sixes and a fumble recovery, right? It kind of helps you if you get that in the beginning of the game. But 175 yards passing. He had only 33 yards rushing with Rocket Sanders. They didn't do very well in this game. 74 yards total rushing and 180 yards passing. They finished with 254 yards of total offense. They didn't have to travel far, but that's not what you would have expected in a game where Oklahoma was just garbage, right?
It's, the offense has just been tough for them. Their offensive line has given up 20 sacks. They've had 37 tackles for loss.
So, not 5 of those against LSU.
And I think in this game, it's going to come down to it's going to be like every other game that we've seen out of this offense. Like it's not going to be them marching up and down the field. Now they just got a little bit of a blueprint, and can they rely on LaNorris Sellers making 4 yards here? Can they keep away from the negative plays? Because that's the biggest thing in the third quarter against Texas, and the touchdown drive is. I just want to press guys into making that type of a commitment that you just avoid the negative yards and you get what you can, and that's a tough way for most college programs and offenses just in general to go about their business because everybody wants that big explosive play. That's why you're setting up what you're setting up. Like you go and say, Trey Wisner, he has that 37-yard carry, and outside of that, he averaged 2 yards a carry. So you're going to have the blown-up plays where you lose 4. Can you go 2 yards, 2 yards, 2 yards, and then go, let's do it again? And I think that's one thing that we didn't do well on offense last week. So I think that this week you're going to have a situation to where South Carolina is going to have to come up with an idea of what they're going to do. Is it's stick to the run and be just disciplined and hope that you can pop 1 or 2 of those? Or is it going to be a situation where you are trying to suck them in, and the moment that you get an opportunity, because I listen, Nichols Harbor is who everybody wants to talk about, but it's Jacobs is the one who's actually leading the team in receiving yards, and he's actually been breaking out this past couple weeks. And so we know that our defense, if they get in and in and in and in and in, you gotta. You're going to get one of those shots. So my hope is obviously this defense is able to have more success against this offensive line, and I would guarantee it, except for the fact that that's what we thought last week, and Sark and that team came up with a good plan. They just fired their offensive line coach and make sure – they just fired their offensive line coach for a reason, right? It's not been good. We always see people will elevate their play a little bit that following week. And so can South Carolina have the discipline, staring down, just a horrendous season right now to say there? They see blood in the water with Oklahoma. They don't feel that this is a great – team, and kind of like last year, Jay, we always said when you're not scared of the offense, you're willing to be more disciplined on your own offense because that your defense is going to keep you in the game. So the defense for us against their offense, you got to stay attacking. You got to do the right thing. You got to make your tackles because missed tackles really killed us last week.
Oh my God, it destroyed us. And this is not a team that you can do miss tackles on. You can't miss tackles. As we talk about the defense, thank y'all for pulling up. Hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, rate, review, give us 5 stars. You cannot miss tackles in this game. And I think that's something that'll be addressed. It felt like they were trying to cause fumbles, trying to do strips. We're not good at it, guys, so don't even try it. You want to force a fumble, hit them hard. Hit them with your helmet. Make the ball fly out that way. Keep your tackling technique good, and you may punch it out. This year, we're just not good at causing turnovers. But if the defense does a good job of anticipating some of these sellers' passes that are coming, the short ones and stuff, you can jump a route and catch it, make it a pick six out of it. You know how awesome that would be if Cortland Guillory, knows that behind him he's got either Robert Spears-Jennings or Peyton Bowen playing over the top on like a Nick Harbor, and they decide to fake it, and he comes back and he catches like a short route, and Cortland jumps it and goes straight to pick it and go take to the house. It's going to be a possibility. But keep this in mind, too. They saw the Auburn tape. So you know what's going to happen, though, Coop, right? They're going to try their hardest to chunk that. They're going to launch it. They're going to launch it to Harbor if they got the time. Last year, we did not give them time to do stuff like that. This year, I expect us to also not give them time to do that. Knock on wood, the line looks solid and healthy. Taylor Wine was one that Brent Venables mentioned as a player that has broken out. And you know how many sacks he got this season, Coop?
Taylor Wine should have 3.5 or 4.
He has 3.5. Good job.
There we go.
He's second on the team behind R. Mason Thomas. Mm-hmm. If I would have told you that before the season started, you would have laughed at me. But I'll say this, too. R. Mason Thomas told us this at SEC Media Days. He told us this when he talked about Taylor Wine. He said that, the player I'm expecting to break out is going to be Taylor Wine. And we laughed. How dumb do we feel now that we didn't listen to this chap?
It's hard, obviously, when people get glazed in the spring and fall camps, and then you don't see them ever again.
That's fair.
Elijah Thomas.
We've seen Elijah break out in the special teams.
He's been great there.
And they asked the question of, hey, y'all talked about him. You've seen him do really good for real good in special teams. Like, he's shown his athleticism of getting to the ball and making the stop. Will we see him on the field? And they're like, yeah, at some point. What? Yeah. But at the same time, Ben Arbuckle did make a really good point on that. Wide receiver room's kind of deep.
It's doing well.
It's doing well.
But going back to Taylor Wine.
John. But yeah.
Yeah. Going back to Taylor Wine, this defense is I don't think that the Cam Coleman stuff against Auburn, it's not like they just continued it. And what's really weird is they haven't tried it. Auburn hasn't tried it since then. So I don't know why that is. But this week, there's going to be a couple times to where they're going to say Cortland is 5'10", Nick Harbor is 6'5", and you don't need a 5-step drop, 60-yard bomb down the field. You can run him on a deep out, and Harbor is fast. I mean, this guy is a freak athlete. I expect to see several 20, 25-yard deep outs where Sellers just throws it to where it's either going to be out of bounds or Harbor. And can whoever's guarding him at that moment, whether it's Guillory, Gentry, Eli, can you stay disciplined and not panic? And that's the big thing, is just don't panic. Just make the play that's in front of you. And I feel like against Texas, going back there again, we did that not only on defense but on offense. There were several times that we tried too much. Just make the play that's in front of you, because you make the play that's in front of you, and it wipes out a lot of stuff. And this defense built by Brent Venables, you got a lot of opportunities to where you've got one guy who's always going to be there in position. There's not going to be guys just running with green grass and nobody around him. You're always going to have it. We saw it early in the season where Robert Spears-Jennings, Peyton Bowen came up and made tackles on guys, and we're kind of last line of defense, which came out of misalignment on defense. But that's what you're going to have to do, is there's going to be one of these times where LaNorris Sellers gets out, and that dude ain't small either. And your job is to hold him up at bare minimum. But you can't come running at him and then slide off on him like rain on a rain jacket. You're going to have to make a play, hold him up, worst case scenario, and you rally to the ball. But just lining up in proper alignment on defense is a big deal.
Yep, and just got an announcement pop up since we're recording early, as we talk about Elijah Thomas about to hit the field and everything. Jaden Gibson is no longer with the program. It is official. So I have been hearing this for a bit, and I hadn't wanted to say anything. I'd heard that, he was working towards his rehab, but at the same time, I also heard that he wasn't working like he should have been. And here we are. He officially is no longer with the program. So I got some news that's not breaking for y'all. Y'all probably saw this morning, but yeah, our boy is out. Bird Venable says that he is gone from the program. Coop, I hate it because we've been rooting hard for him, but at the same time, dog, I'm very happy with our room.
I mean, there's a lot. I don't know. I think that probably we'll see more and more stuff kind of come out about this throughout the next couple weeks, probably. But yes, Jaden is a kid who got a devastating injury. I remember hearing about the injury, sending it over to you, and we were kind of devastated because that was kind of like the beginning of the injuries last year.
Yep.
And then he gets hurt again, a setback, with the injury. I'll just say this, with a dude who had a little bit of maturity problems early in his career, comes to the team from Florida. You're kind of out here by yourself. At times, you feel like everybody rallies completely around you, but then at other times, Jay, he gets lonely in that training staff. I mean, in that training room, just day in and day out. And some of the stuff of maybe him not making rehab assignments, not making team activities. When it all comes out, I think that you see a perfect recipe for just this scenario to finally have gone down. I expect him to probably continue to try to rehab. Somebody will try to go pick him up. He's worth it. That body frame, he's got some decent production. So maybe this is something where he goes home and gets picked up on a USF or UCF and gets his life together. We've seen other guys, go through tough times here and go other places and get their life together. And I wish the same for him. But if you're on the team, you got to be on the team. You got to make your appointments. You can't skip out on stuff. And so we know for a fact that the staff tried all kinds of shock moments to try to let him know, like, hey, this is serious. Like, you need to get your stuff together. And it just never worked. So at this point, I got to think that it's either, hey, we've had the conversation and he's gonna bounce, or it's something else happened and all right, we tried our best. You just weren't hearing.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah,
as we both said, we were rooting for the kid, so I'm still rooting for him. Hopefully, he gets his life together and makes it happen. So let's wrap up on this talk on South Carolina, because how do we win this game, Coop? How do we win this game on offense first? How do you think we win this game?
Three things I got written down. Number one, I already said.
He had it written down. I love it.
You got to commit to the run and give yourself attainable goals. An attainable goal is block the guy that you're supposed to block with effort. We saw people all across the board. You can't half-ass a block, Jay. Like, blocking is violence. All right, even just standing up in the line. But if you can average with the running backs 3.5 yards per carry, like, that's your goal. If anything else on that, it's gravy. And again, South Carolina defense 11th in the SEC out of 16 teams in rushing yards per game given up. So I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, listen, there's a magic number of 200 yards. You can rush for 200 yards. It's going to be good. No, you need to go out there and just commit to it. Find 3 or 4 things that you feel comfortable doing. John Mateer, you got to show some crispness. You got to listen. I know that you're a gunslinger, and I don't want you to go out there being like Jackson Arnold and just be terrified to throw the ball. You need to let it rip. But I want to see Giovanni Gibson with the news of Jaden, no longer on the team. I want to see Giovanni really get that chemistry brought back up. If you want to throw some 50-50s to Giovanni on the outside, that's great. Giovanni's not going to be running away from a lot of folks. He is going to out-physical a lot of folks and catch the ball with wide receivers. Like, there's too many drops. First play of the game, Kanik drops the ball. On defense, Jay.
Offense. Let me go. Let me go. On
okay,
offense.
You go for it. Go for it.
Let me go on offense first. I'm with you on that. I think the run commitment is critical. We need to pick two backs, and they're your backs for the game. Unless someone gets hurt, you two backs, and you just sit. One needs to carry the bulk. It needs to be an 80-20 split. So Tory Blaylock needs to lead the way, period. And depending on who's healthy, X-Rob, y'all going to hate to hear this. It's unfortunate for you all. But Jay Knott will be playing probably in this game. Because we need the bodies. Tatum dealing with a lot of lingering things from hamstring to foot to ankle, you name it. He's just been – the luck has not been the best for Taylor Tatum this season. So I expect to bounce back next year. X-Rob has fought – he had a shoulder stinger, but I expect him to play again, similar to Tory Blaylock. But it's going to be Blaylock gets the ball. Ott's probably going to rotate in. He has been a disappointment, but the best way he salvaged this season is to go out there and play hard. We'll see if that happens. From there, John Mateer need to see the field. You can't go deep really on this defense. The safeties are pretty good. Like Kilgore is solid out there, and he does a really good job of seeing the field. You need to use your eyes and move him and go to where you want to go. Satania's probably going to be open a lot. Throw him the dang ball. Not when he's in triple coverage, though. Unless you're going to throw another teardrop pass where it just lands right in his hands. But he's going to be open. Yeah. Hit Kanik across the middle. Arbuckle, please spread him out 4 wide. Go veer and shoot. Go air raid. Go old school Leach. You can't run it, just throw the ball 100 times. Make that man's arm fall off. Or quick passes, sweeps. Do some runs to the outside of the tackles. We've seen success there. Just make it to where your tight ends get in the way, but they don't block. I think Kanik can do a crack block on a linebacker. He ain't hitting no edge. Let him do crack blocks, right? That's what you need to do. Have your tight ends in the way. Don't have them trying to, have them go out there like they're trying to catch a pass and get in the way when you hand the ball off. Do that. That's where you're going to see success.
And Jay, do not put any tight end on this roster up against Dylan Stewart one-on-one with any
How
did
did Gabe Eichert say it last year? Do not put one of our tight ends on their edges. Do not put one of our tight ends on their edges. Just like Gabe said last year. Don't do it again, dog.
Unless you create a play call where Kanik thinks that he's blocking, but it's actually a screen and it's okay to let him through. But don't even tell Kanik that he's supposed to let him through, because I still think there might be too much Olay there. I'm just saying, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Yep.
And if your plan is out there with the tight end doing any business with any defensive end, especially Dylan Stewart. Yep. Dylan Stewart's had a disappointing year. Don't give him momentum, because if all of a sudden he says, hey, last year I really did whatever I wanted against this team, then he becomes a problem all day long.
Yep. Don't give him that kind of confidence. Make him work for it. Make him work for it. That's what you need to do. You make him work for it, you're good. That's going to be the critical part. Make him work for it. And third downs, now, and we need to convert on our thirds. All right, now, defense side. Coop, what do you think we need to do to win on the defensive side of the ball?
Tackle. Play angry. And line up right. That's it. It's not about talent at this point. It's not about scheme at this point. It's not. I mean, listen. This is still one of the best defenses in the entire country. You held Texas to 16 points on defense. That's while giving away 3 turnovers, which Jay. A turnover, on one of them, I think the pass was somewhat deep. But when your punter's netting 50 yards a punt and you throw an interception of 10 yards, you're giving away 40 yards right there. So you tackle and you eliminate any of the explosive plays. We are not giving up explosive plays except for bad alignment and missed tackling.
Yep.
It's plain and simple. It's plain and simple.
Very simple.
Make the play right in front of you for the love of God. If you do that, the same success is going to continue on.
Yep. We'll get it if you do that. That's going to be the thing. Defense, tackle people, man. I need this interior to get back to what they were at the start of the season. I need to get to what they were when we were playing Michigan, Auburn, whatever. I need that back. You give me that, we should be good. And I feel like if we do that, it's going to be a strong, strong game for just us overall. Please, defense. Please do something, defense. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. Give us that defense. Oh man! All right.
But Jay, I will say this.
Go ahead.
I'll say this. This is my final thought. This week and next week, you get this week South Carolina, Ole Miss, 11 o'clock. Both these are 11 o'clock games. After the Texas game, we wanted Saturday to get here so that we could wash the taste out of our mouth and get the team back up and going. This team does well after a loss, especially after losing to the Texas game.
Yeah, historic.
Go out there, handle your business. I'm glad that these games are 11 o'clock because it's first up. We don't gotta wait through teams, wait through games. But I will say this as the fan base. My final thought is now every single game is. Listen, we're still on schedule. Still on schedule.
Yeah, we are.
But it's 1-0. That means more now than it ever did. You go win this game. That's your only goal. You make one play at a time, one win at it, and one win a day. That's it. And so we all want to see that happen. And let's find out how many guys got offended last week by taking an L and now want to go show that, no, we're still who we thought we were.
Exactly. You've got to go out there and show them that you are Oklahoma. Everybody wants to see Oklahoma's downfall. BV reminds y'all that of all times. Go work out there like you're supposed to. So run out, go out and be prepared to play your tails off. So, all right, we're out. I'm going to go ahead and go. Be productive. Thank y'all for pulling up. Hit that like button if you're new to the channel. Subscribe, rate, review. Give us 5 stars. Me and Coop will be back. Should be back post-game of the South Carolina game. I don't think I'm going to be working. I shouldn't be pulled away. But if I am, we'll get y'all something. We'll talk after the game. So, Chop, I'll meet y'all soon. Peace.